Shalom, HALALYAM, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone, the teacher who well. Peace and salutations be to the hopeful elect. But I'm coming at you from the prophets in Babylon camp here in Tampa, Florida. Alright, this lesson is going to be touching on this article here that came out. Now it says a suspected cyber attack, and it's from an app called AP or something like that. AP. It says world news. A suspected cyber attack paralyzes the majority of gas stations across Iran. All right. And this ain't this ain't the time to just be lollygagging and hanging out, man, because this is what's going on in the world. It says world news. Why does it say world news? Because things like this can threaten the peace of the whole entire world. All right. It says the brother Yeremiah, servant of Yahawashi, this is his Instagram page name. He dropped this. And he quoted this. It says, Israelite army claims responsibility for the cyber attack that disrupted the gas stations in Iran today. So, the Israelite forces, or Israeli, I would say Israeli, it sounds better that way because it sounds like it's an Israelite. So, Israeli army claims responsibility for the cyber attack that disrupted gas stations in Iran today. So, you see these guys are attacking... they're making attacks upon the people. People got to get places. They can't get gas. And that's because of what war's going on. Another country caused it. That's the time we're in. Where at any moment, something can just pop off. And your whole shit shut down, man. Your computer ain't working. Your phones ain't working. You got to get to work or you're trying to make transactions. You can't do it because what? Oh shit, it was a cyber attack. EMP. EMP is an electromagnetic pulse. A cyber attack can be anything from electromagnetic pulse to just interrupting technology or electrical services, man. They can hack the electrical services and just put things on the TV and do all sorts of things in a cyber attack. A cyber attack consists of any attack that's based upon the electricity. Any attack on electricity. Okay. And these other nations got the capabilities to do that, man. You've seen these movies been coming out about cyber attacks lately, man. Yeah, you know that it's in the atmosphere. Okay, what are we gonna be able? What you gonna be able to do about what another country is gonna do to this country? You can't do anything about that. All you can do is be subject to it. Say they send a nuclear missile over here. All you can do is be subject to that nuclear missile hitting, and you gotta live your life according to according to the cause of that nuclear missile. Their lives were affected by a cyber attack. I just go to show you that these nations ain't at peace. These nations ain't at ease with each other. You got the Israel-Hamas war still going on. And all these other nations that are affiliated with those nations may end up getting dragged into it. That includes America and Russia, man. So that's going to eventually happen, man. All roads lead to the end of the world. All roads lead to World War III, man. World War III must take place. So you're hearing of all this stuff happening because it must happen. We're in the beginning of sorrows. This is the book of Matthew. Just like this in transit, by the way. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 8. I'll start a few verses before. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 6. It says, and it reads, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. So you're going to be hearing of wars and rumors of wars. You know, people going around, you know, back then, back in the day, you hear a rumor of a war. There's just people whispering in each other's ear, and you hear about what's going on with this nation, that nation. I think it's going to be a war. But now you wake up, you turn your phone on, and you see it all down your fucking social media page. Your phone is being spammed with articles and, you know, posts about war. And if you ain't watching, if you ain't got news apps where it's just telling you about what's going on in the world, then guess what? You got meme pages that's gonna tell your ass, because these meme pages are telling, you know, they're telling everything too, man. You know, I wouldn't say everything, but they just, you know, they spreading information too. Okay, they are information spreaders. It's just saying almost the same as a news app. Okay, but it's just they got comedy in it. But Instagram be paying these guys. You get that blue check, they get paid to spread this information so that the world can see it. You get a lot of views. Guess what? Esau's going to want to control what those viewers are watching through you, man. You want to be a content creator, and your content better be acceptable according to Esau's traditions, to Babylon's traditions, or else you ain't gonna have an Instagram page. I mean, they're gonna take away all your viewers. They're gonna block you out, block you from the world, so they can't see your content no more. Especially if you say something against this devil's system. It says, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So you're going to hear these things, man. But don't be troubled, because these things must come to pass, and the end is not yet. You know, you haven't seen we haven't got hit with the EMP yet, man. So until then, it's just rumors and speculation. You know, you're just hearing of wars and rumors of wars, but you haven't actually seen anything happen in front of you. So that's prophecy, man. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All right, so what you heard and seen of all these pestilences coming out, famines and earthquakes already taking place, man. You know, there's about to be a great worldwide famine, of course. We're still waiting on that to hit. So then they giving you 3D printed meat. We probably already in a, you know, worldwide famine, man. You know, I wouldn't say we're in a worldwide famine yet, but we probably would be already if it wasn't for all that damn fake ass food they've been making, preserving the real food for themselves, putting it in their bunkers. But they giving us out 3D printed meat and shit, man. You know. Why do you want a 3D printed meat? That's not real meat. Okay? So that means it's just taking cells and rapidly growing them in a lab. It's not real meat, man. It's laboratory food. Nobody wants laboratory food. Guess what? This devil is going to distribute that. You know? All these are the beginning of sorrow. So you see that we're at the beginning and the end. The beginning of sorrows. We haven't seen true sorrow yet. We're seeing the beginning of it. You're seeing all these countries mourning for what is happening to the people. You see pro-Palestinians and pro-Israel, whatever. You can see them protesting over here all the way in America, man. You know? That's how you know something's going on in the world, because they're over here in America protesting about it. Alright? Walking around with the flags on, and those protesters will get violent. They definitely will get violent. You had a group of so-called prophets, they call themselves prophets, out there preaching and scrapping with the damn pro-Palestinians, man. You know they probably started it saying things about Israel. And how they probably saying how they deserve it and stuff, man. You know, the scriptures say, a fool's mouth calleth for strokes. You know, his mouth invites a beating, pretty much, roughly paraphrasing, man. It says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. So we just came from hearing about the beginning of sorrows. The scriptures say right after the beginning of sorrows comes what? Persecution of the prophets. You know, it says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. Because the disciples asked Yahawashi, what are going to be the signs of your coming? How do we know you're coming? You know, how do we know we're at the end of the world? And he listed the signs at the beginning of sorrows, and he said, then shall they deliver you up to be killed, to be afflicted, and shall kill you. Okay? The persecution of the prophets is very well around the corner. However long the beginning of sorrows must last, these things are taking place, it's going to get to a point where it gets a lot worse. Things spin out of control. Something's going to happen to completely switch from the beginning of sorrows to Jacob's trouble. You know, full-blown Jacob's trouble. Jacob going to be in trouble, so are the prophets. You know, the Lord said he's going to start at his house first. You know, but the prophet's going to get persecuted, man. Persecution must come. It happened to Yahawashi. It must also happen to us if we follow after his ways. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And a woe goes into destruction, which, if this is speaking in general, is talking about a worldwide destruction. And what's a worldwide destruction? Even the world has a label for it, a name for it. It's called World War. Okay, so of war cometh destruction, man. If there's a world war, then what? Scriptures say the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So the second world war is past, and now the third world war is coming quickly after, man. You know, it's coming quickly after. This ain't gonna be no ordinary war. It's gonna be the war to end all wars, the fight to end all fights. Doomsday. It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7 and verse 43. But the day of doom. Alright, let's go and grab the definition of the word doom, so we understand. So we understand what the scripture is talking about. It says the day of doom. The definition of doom is death, destruction, or some other terrible fate. Okay, synonyms for it is destruction, downfall, ruin, annihilation, termination, extinction, disaster, death, end, termination. Okay, so these are all similar words for doom. So you can say all these words instead of doom. The day of annihilation, the day of extermination, the day of termination, the day of terrible fate. Alright, so it says, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time. That's how this time's going to end, through the day of destruction, man. The day of doom. That day of doom is only going to come through, what, World War III. Alright? A war. These nations have increased in power so fast, man. Alright? And YAHAWASHI has allowed it because what? He is hastening the days. He's speeding up the times for the elect's sake. Scriptures say, I'll roughly paraphrasing. Except those days be shortened, no flesh shall be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. It says, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for it to come, wherein corruption is past. So it's going to end. That day is going to end this time when Yahawashi pulls up on us, you know, to rescue us from our oppressors. And from them destroying each other. It's going to get to a point where these nations begin to destroy each other, to eat at each other, man. You know, these elites going to lose all control. They're going to try to flee and hide in bunkers. just to get snatched up out of there and thrown into slavery. First fruits of slavery, man. You know, in the kingdom. Make their ass clean up the earth from all the trashing and all the dirty and all the filth that they've created in the earth. We're gonna make their ass clean it up. Lord willing, we be those men. You know. Got this. Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 34. And the wars, matter of fact, verse 33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. And this is where Isaiah 4:1 will come into play. Because these women are going to mourn, having no husbands, no bridegrooms. They're going to be searching and looking for a man to protect them. You know? And they're going to be seen as a prey in that day. Men are going to prey upon them and use them for traps. Okay? A woman is just going to want a man that's going to... In that day, they're going to want a good man. A woman don't want a good man now. She wants a nigga now. But in that day, they're going to want a good man. They're going to want a man that has common sense, that is smart, that uses wisdom and applies wisdom. It's not into niggatry. And they ain't going to want a man that's that's irrational. You know, you can't reason with this man. They ain't gonna want an unreasonable man in that day. Now they want unreasonable niggas. They want niggas that's gonna go to jail and, you know, lead their ass with 7 kids. It says, the woman shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. All right. Brothers have had countless dreams. I've heard a dream once. Brother say he was a pilgrim, you know. It was him and he was with a few other brothers. And a family took him in. You know, family took them in because they're pilgrims. And the family fed them and let them stay the night. You know, they stayed the night, family fed them, and they had like a little fire running, like a fireplace. And they stayed warm by the fire and slept. You know, and the daughter was pretty much in love with the man, you know, with the brother. And the next day the brothers got up to leave that house, and the daughter tried to cling onto the man. You know, she tried to go with him, you know, because she wanted to be protected by him, you know. But you know, he told the girl that he told the woman it was a daughter, but she was a marital age. She was an adult, man. But they were with their family. Everybody gathered around their family in times like these, man. But you know, she was a grown woman. She was trying to cling on to that brother, you know. And he told her, he just pretty much told her, hey, you know, if Lord wills it, I'll come back for you in a few days. You know. She said, oh, all right. She waited. She said she was gonna wait. And when he left, you know, he heard rumor about that same day Esau ran through and destroyed everybody in the house, burned the house down, man. You know, that's the type of times we're coming into. You women don't get help, you're gonna get destroyed, man. You're gonna be for a prey, you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna get murdered, you're gonna get raped, you're gonna get all sorts of things that you're just not looking for. Your worst fears are gonna come upon you on that day if you don't have a man, and especially a man of the Lord. All right. It says, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. These guys are going to perish of malnourishment, being hungry, and being destroyed in the wars, right? And it says wars, okay? Meaning what? It's going to be constant ground battles, constant troops getting sent over to the Middle East to never come back again, you know? And they're already talking about a draft, man, all right? They've already been talking about drafts lately. So they're going to constantly come up to your house, pull your sons and your husbands out of your house and send their ass overseas to never return, man. To go and die for a country that wouldn't die for you. Go and fight for a people that oppressed you. To fight for a country that oppressed you and used you despitefully. All right, you're gonna go and give your life, you know, for living on this land. But yeah, man, they're gonna send dudes overseas and they ain't gonna never return. Many gonna be married, gonna leave their women and children behind. You know, you go over there, and what? You're gonna be all alone over there, man. There ain't no backup coming to rescue you. Backup's going to a different part of that area to fight over there, man. They send your ass for no rations. You ain't gonna have no rations, no water. You're gonna run out of food and water over there and perish of famine. You know, they're gonna be over there eating each other. And they're gonna be over here in Babylon eating each other. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. So understand these things, man, because this is gonna happen. You know, this is gonna happen whether you like it or not, man. But I truly hope this lesson was edifying to you, occupying out while through listening to the sincerity. To next time, Yahshua, I give all glory, honor, and praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Shalom.